Guitar tips, guitar tips, just the tips, just for you, guitar tips. Hello and welcome to Guitar Tips. My name is Adam Levy, and this is my weekly video blog series. I post a brand new tip here each and every Friday, and I really appreciate you tuning in, so thanks for that. I'm going to cut right to the tip. The tip this week, this is guitar tip number 90. Guitar tip number 90, nothing compares to you. To you. Nothing compares to you. I've been thinking about this not only because of the recent passing of Prince, of course, but also just in my teaching. This has come up with some of my students, and I thought I would share it with you, which is that it can be easy to compare yourself to other guitar players, be they, famous guitar players on the cover of Guitar Player magazine. Hello, Carl Verheyen. Or whether it's just, the guy or girl in the next practice room who seems to be able to play everything just a little bit faster, cleaner, fiercer, better, whatever, than you. And, although I would definitely encourage you to listen to other guitar players and check them out and see what they're doing, as soon as you start comparing yourself to them, not only in terms of what they're actually doing on the guitar, but in terms of success in their career, or money, or getting on the cover of a magazine, or getting some gig, or whatever. It's just a very slippery slope. Yes, it's a business, and we all need to succeed in the business. But I don't think you get there by measuring yourself against anyone else except your own self, and your past self and your future self. That's really the only measuring stick that you need. You should be getting better day by day, week by week, month by month, and so you need to be measuring yourself against the you that was, and against the you that you want to be. Where do you see yourself in a month, a year, 5 years, a decade, whatever? And if you're a young guitar player, it might be hard to imagine where you'll be in 5 years, or it might be hard to imagine where you'll be, in 5 minutes from now. But I would encourage you to move towards that forward you, not get too caught up in the past you. It's good to check in with the past you, listen to old recordings of yourself, live recordings, studio recordings, iPhone recordings from rehearsals that you find in your voice memos that you forgot were there. Listen to yourself, see where you were at, and check in and make sure you're getting better. And have a plan for yourself. Think about where you want to be, career-wise, technically on the instrument, whatever your goals are, be they musical or personal or entrepreneurial or whatever. That's great, but really, as best as you can, try and avoid comparing yourself to other guitar players. It's not helpful, I don't think. And anyway, you really never know what their life is like, or you really never know. the grass may look greener from where you're sitting, but probably whoever you think is doing a great at whatever their thing is, they may be struggling with other stuff that you can't even see from where you're sitting. So keep that in mind and just keep moving forward. And every once in a while, just look over your shoulder to see where you've been. But don't mind so much where other guitar players are at. Nothing compares to you. And that's this week's tip. That's tip number 90. I'm going to give you a bonus tip this week because I'm playing my old guitar. I don't know if I've used this guitar much in guitar tips, but it's a guitar I've had since 1979. I call this guitar Esther. Esther is a 1979 ES-335. I got this guitar brand new when I was 13 from my dad. It was my bar mitzvah present. And it was the only guitar I had for a really long time, which you can probably see I've worn a lot of the finish off the back of the neck. And in the mid-90s, I was doing a recording session with Tracy Chapman. I was working on a record that was called New Beginning. They had the song Give Me One Reason on it. And I was super stressed out. It was my first real recording session in a real studio with a real producer, with a real artist and a real band. And even though I was already close to 30 at the time, I really felt like I was finally swimming in the deep end of the pool for the first time. And I was having a hard time just keeping my cool. And I was in the control room and I saw they had this label maker. This is what they would use to make little labels to label different pieces of gear in the control booth, different equalizers and compressors and whatever. And I took it and I made a little label and I stuck it on here. And this has been on here for 20 years now. I thought I would share it with you. It says, breathe, groove, energize. I think just staring down at that every time I looked down at my guitar was pretty helpful. And I don't know, do those things. Breathe, groove, energize. From there you really can't go wrong. And don't compare yourself to anyone else. Even if they seem to be breathing better than you, grooving better than you, or energizing better than you. It's just about you and you. So with that, want to take just one more brief moment here to mention that Guitar Tips is sponsored by Martin Guitar Strings. Thank you, Martin Guitar Strings, for your support of this show. It's a show. And also thank you, Martin Guitar Strings, for making really great acoustic guitar strings. I use their Retro Series strings on my acoustic guitars. And, I don't know. That's about it. I'll see you next week. New tip every Friday. Subscribe, please subscribe. Thank you. For Guitar Tips, I'm Adam Levy. Stay tuned and take good care. Say goodnight, Esther.